From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Heads Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, definitely a bit warmer out there today than it was yesterday. Here is a look at one of the great cameras we have now here at Weather NorCal, and I plan on extending this network of cameras here in the months to come. There, of course, you can see the Sundial Bridge, and off to the right here, you've got, of course, Lassen, turning out to be just a gorgeous sunny day out there. Temperatures, as I mentioned, are getting a little bit warmer out there, but we're not going to see a huge increase here, at least in the next few days. It's not until the end of the week and into this weekend that heat wave we've been telling you about, it's going to be here. So we've got that warming trend this week, but the big heat arrives later this week into the weekend. Now, for the mountains, highs on average between 100 and 105. It's going to be hotter than that in some locations. But for the valley, 107 to 114 for those daytime highs. Now, here's what it looks like for the valley here as we take into your Tuesday. Now, it's getting closer to 100, and I think many of us will dodge that triple-digit mark in the valley. But overall, it's getting a little bit warmer tomorrow than it was today. Now, we take a look at the mountains for your Tuesday, and there you can see temperatures increasing. But again, we're mainly in the mid to upper 80s for Siskiyou and Modoc counties. But out in the eastern mountains, temperatures upper 80s to about 90 degrees. Still looking at those sunny skies. Now, I want to show you the heat alerts because throughout the morning and afternoon, the National Weather Service has been kind of adding more and more to this. If you watched this morning, the only excessive heat watch was out in extreme eastern Modoc County, Lassen, and eastern Plumas. But through the afternoon, we started to watch it hit the valley, the mountains, and not to mention out into Trinity County as well. Now, these really won't take effect until Friday, and then last through the weekend, when we expect that's kind of the peak of the heat, is probably sometime around Saturday. Now, I want to show you the trend here for Redding. Now, I've got it up to about 113 degrees on Saturday. That's the peak of this heat wave. But you see how the temperatures are starting to drop as we go into next week. So this is not going to be a prolonged period of 110 plus degree temperatures, but it is going to be long enough that you definitely need to take the necessary precautions to stay safe in those types of conditions. Now, we do have an area of low pressure, which is kind of spinning to our north. That's one of the contributing factors to some of the cooler weather, if you will, that we've had. So the big question is, where's the heat coming from? Where's the heat that we're going to be experiencing coming from? Well, right now, there's an excessive heat warning for parts of the desert Southwest. Now, temperatures there are forecast to be upwards of 115 and even higher in some spots. It's that heat that's over the desert Southwest. I've been talking about this even since last week, how it's expanding into our region. But even on Thursday, it's still mainly to our south, so pretty hot down into Southern California. But by Friday and Saturday, that's when it really starts to ride northward. This is when it will be its strongest over at least Northern California. Then by Sunday, Monday, that heat retreats back down to the south and east. You see the main bubble is now, by next Monday, down back over the desert Southwest. Now, it'll still be pretty warm for us, but at least we've got some cooler air to our north, which is helping to kind of suppress that heat a bit. So overall, we do have that heat peaking on Saturday, and then it looks like things should improve when we're talking about conditions here after that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our forecast here overnight tonight, and I'm expecting those temperatures to be somewhere in the low to mid 60s for the valley. So about 63 degrees for Redding, 65 for Red Bluff, 66 out in Chico. Now for the mountains, we're going to be in the 40s and 50s, 50 for Alturas and Wairika, about 57 degrees. All right, so for your daytime highs for your Tuesday, I'm expecting temperatures in the mid to upper 90s. So places like Chico, Oroville, around 95, 96. It's going to get close to, if not right around 100 for, say, places like Redding and Red Bluff. Now, no triple digits in the mountains, but it's getting warmer there too. Temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s for, say, the eastern mountains, and for Siskiyou and Modoc counties in the mid to upper 80s for your daytime highs. So let's take a look at your 7-day forecast, and what this is going to show here is that, yeah, Mount Shasta City, looking at temperatures actually decreasing just a tad for your Wednesday. So this is a very slow warming trend, at least for the first half of the week. But then we're going to notice a big increase in our temperatures by the time we get into the weekend. Over 100 degrees for Saturday, Sunday in Mount Shasta City, and back down to about 95 by Monday. Now for Alturas, I think we're going to barely reach that triple-digit mark for probably both Saturday and Sunday before we see those temperatures dip again early next week. And for Susanville, a little over 100 degrees come Saturday and Sunday. All right, now let's take a look at the 7-day forecast for the Valley, and this is where we're going to really notice the heat. And of course, that's pretty typical, right? So temperatures about 101 degrees by Thursday for Redding, 109, so big increase from Thursday to Friday, and then a bigger increase over the weekend. Temperatures over 110 degrees before those temperatures do start to drop. Now you'll notice in Chico, we're about mid-90s today and tomorrow, for tomorrow and Wednesday. Temperatures upper 90s by Thursday, and then back over 100 degrees. I mean, we could quite possibly reach 110 degrees for Chico by Friday, but then temperatures do start to drop as we go into early next week.